Howdy, and welcome to the White Hat Law Show with Warren Nord, where we cover a mix of current events, politics, and the law. Take it away, Warren.
Welcome back to White Hat Law. My name is Warren Nord, and we're here talking about trademark bullies. And in particular, we're talking about Mary Kay today. Mary Kay, as you may know, is in Dallas, and they operate a huge organization of consultants and where they sell makeup and other health products. But it isn't always easy doing business with Mary Kay products. Today I've got two people to talk to me to share with you today their story. Both of them have received demand letters from Mary Kay regarding a demand that they stop selling Mary Kay products because they are not consultants and they are selling on the web in various ways. So with me first is Jack. Introduce yourself to the folks, Jack.
I'm Jack. Not a lot to say.
So tell me a bit of your story. What do you do that has anything to do with Mary Kay?
Well, all I do is I basically buy from people and I use that and sell it on eBay.
Okay, and how do you find people that are selling their Mary Kay inventory?
Primarily, I look online, Facebook, those types, and they're looking to sell and get rid of it, and I go buy it.
Okay, so do you know if these people are consultants or not, or previous consultants?
I don't ask them. I would assume, but I can't say for sure.
Have you ever said, hey, if you're about ready to junk this relationship with Mary Kay and I want to buy all of your inventory on your way out? Have you ever gone out of your way to find people that are doing that?
Oh no.
So,
yes.
And how do you sell your product?
All of it goes through eBay.
So you sell exclusively through eBay. I did a little search before we did this, and I found that more than 50,000 line items on eBay right now for sale of Mary Kay. Now, I've also got with me Rita. Rita's just by phone. We don't have a picture of Rita. And Rita, tell us a little bit about your story. When did you start selling Mary Kay product?
Hi, Warren. I started a couple years ago in general selling on eBay. I have an elderly parent, and also at that time my oldest son was in elementary, but my youngest was still 3 years old, and I needed to supplement our income, so I couldn't work full-time job to be able to be with my son and take care of my parents. So I started selling online different things, designer items, purses, jeans, and makeup, mainly makeup because I love makeup, and it's easy to store, smaller items. And I found a couple lots for sale. They were different brands like Maybelline and other brands, and I found Mary Kay, and I started selling on eBay.
Okay. And do you sell exclusively on eBay?
Yes, sir.
Now, I see this product on sale and on Amazon as well. Do either of you sell on Amazon?
I do not.
I do.
Now, do you know anybody that does? I mean, is there a loose kind of community of people who resell and sell, that buy and resell Mary Kay product?
I mean, I see Mary Kay product sells really very well on Amazon, and actually it's even more expensive than eBay. But personally, I don't, because of inventory issues. I don't want to list on both sides where things get sold on one side and might get sold on the other one, and I run out of a product, and it's just, for me, it's an extra time and effort to put to sell on more than one channel.
I see. How about you, Jack?
I sell only on eBay.
Now,
figure I know well, so I do what I know.
Right. Do you know other people that sell on Amazon?
No.
Do you know anybody that sell? I mean, does anybody have a third-party reseller website for marykayproduct.com or anything like that?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So it pretty much, both of you go only through eBay. I know of people that also go through Amazon, but in theory, I think, aren't there rules, or do you know if there are rules against consultants selling online?
I don't know the consultant rules. I'm not a consultant, so I couldn't say.
And you've never seen a contract. How about you, Rita?
No, I've never seen a contract. And when I started searching, because I got my couple lots, and I started searching for prices and things, and I saw that there were 10,000 of Mary Kay items selling. So that's all you at selling online. So I started selling online.
Now let's talk about the letters that you've gotten from Mary Kay. Rita, why don't you start first? Tell us the kind of the timeline. You've received a couple of letters, right?
Correct. I really do not remember the exact date when I started getting those letters, but according to Mary Kay, later after they sent me the latest ones, they said that they started contacting me back in 2017 in February. Now, the reason I do not recall, because I really didn't think that this was a legit letter. I received it through eBay messages from an eBay account. The eBay username had nothing to do with Mary Kay. It was all numbers and letters, I think, something like that. And the letter was attached in there. Was a very bad quality letter and unreadable. Was so small and couldn't read it. So I thought that at that time I contacted them back, and I said, I'm going to have to report you to eBay for using eBay accounts to harass people. I thought that a jealous seller. I don't know who is trying to harass me. And then I went and investigated a little bit and read about it, and I found that there are lots of other sellers are getting those letters, and I didn't see online any case that been anybody sued for that since back of the Weber case. So I was sure at that point that this is just a harassment. And I read about first sale doctrine, and I was sure I'm good. I had lots of sellers contacting me about getting same letters, and they were asking what do I think and if I get the same, and my answer was the same. I think I really do not believe this legit, and the first sale doctrine, and I do not see any cases about any case like our cases. So I'm not doing anything wrong, and so I continued to.
All right. So then you got. So Jack, was that your experience as well, or what was your experience?
Pretty close. About a year and a half ago, I got my first contact through eBay, through a message through eBay. Not exactly recall exactly what it said, but shortly after I received, it was a FedEx envelope, and I kept it all. It's here somewhere. Again, it was very bad, poor quality paper. I would expect it came from, quote unquote, a lawyer, which it's claimed it would be on letterhead, which it was not.
Rest assured, if you get a demand letter from us, it'll be on letterhead and it'll look nice. So.
Very bad.
And also as well, I mean, they didn't require signature. They would just drop it at the door. And if you think that this is something serious, they will at least require signature when they deliver the FedEx letters.
I get the idea that they send a lot of these letters out, and that some of them they're just trying to scare people. But I don't know. You know, it's just a tactic. You know, that you want to be able to warn people and say, well, I sent a warning to them, and the judges often don't care if it's a nice letter or, you know, was it from a lawyer? Did it tell you what was going on? Did you respond? But so you got a first letter. Say again?
it looked like it was photocopied. What it looked like.
Yeah, well, I
It was
mean,
really bad.
a lot of these suits look just alike, right? So it doesn't have to be a lot of originality to make it effective. But you got a second letter, and it included the potential lawsuit. Was that right for both of you?
I got a second letter basically saying the exact same thing as the first one. I think I've gotten 4 total letters.
And only, I guess, the last one had the copy of the lawsuit that was going to be filed?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. The second one again.
Yeah.
Okay, so a series of demand letters followed by, okay, now we're really serious. Here's the lawsuit we're going to file. Now, Rita, you talked about the first sale doctrine. First sale doctrine is the doctrine that says if I want to sell something that's covered by a trademark, let's say I want to sell my Ford F-150, 1976 Ford F-150, I bought it and I can use the trademark to sell it. As long as it's clear that I'm not trying to say that I'm affiliated with Ford, I can say, look, I'm selling a Ford F-150. First sale doctrine says that I can generally use the trademark of the item to resell the item if I bought it properly the first time, and I'm not trying to glom on to the reputation of Ford, except that it's an old used Ford. So, of course, you all purchased what you would call genuine and authentic product. But let's talk about that before we start filming. Jack, you mentioned that something about the letter saying that this was inauthentic or not genuine or something. What was that about?
As I was browsing through the pages that they had sent me, it made a mention of it not being authentic or genuine Mary Kay product.
And why is that confusing to you?
Well, Mary Kay made it, so it's authentic because they made it.
Yeah, there's a funny thing. There's some legal aspects to the way that they want to define authentic and genuine is not the way that normal people define genuine and authentic. If I bought a Ford F-150, then it's genuine because Ford made it, right? But if I were to buy a Ford F-150 and I pulled a tab off of my Mercedes and I plopped it on top of my Ford F-150, of course that would be it would not be a Mercedes, right? It'd still be a Ford, and so I'd be trying to confuse issues. That would not be an authentic Mercedes. It'd be a Ford with a Mercedes, logo on it. But here you're selling product that is actually made by Mary Kay. Now, Rita, why do you think that they call it inauthentic or not genuine?
Well, I was so surprised to read that same thing also in my letter as well, and it didn't make any sense for me because they stated that they have in a couple occasions they have purchased from me some of the products, and they are not saying in the letter that they were not authentic. So, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, let me just rephrase that so everybody gets the picture. So in the letter they say, we bought product from you that was our product, so we know you're selling our product, but then at the same time it's not genuine product. It's not authentic product because of some other reason. So why did they say it's not genuine product?
According to what I understood, that they are not considering them authentic because they are not coming from a consultant or a Mary Kay consultant.
So they're saying, so as you understand it, they're saying that if you get a Mary Kay lipstick from somebody other than a consultant, then it's not authentic.
Yeah, that's what it sounds.
Now they have this quality control program too. How does that enter into it? Oh, Jack, can you get into that? Well, Jack, how does the quality control program enter into that, as you understand it?
From what I've read from what they have sent me is because I'm not a consultant, they can't guarantee that product. And as being, how do I read it? Is they can't back that product because I'm not a consultant.
Now, as I understand it, a lot of Mary Kay and other makeup systems like this are often gifts. So if I were to buy some Mary Kay lipstick for my wife from a consultant, and then I had it in my garage for 6 months and I gave it to my wife, would that mean that it was not authentic? I don't understand that argument. To say that, but that's the argument they're making, right? That it's not authentic.
Yeah. I mean, what confuses me is, don't they only, from what I understand, they only sell to their consultants, right?
Right. That's my understanding. So I guess we're going to find out maybe.
Somebody got it from Mary Kay.
Well, as I understand from reading, they're saying that the fact that it's got a life, a shelf life, and they've defined this life as 3 years. They don't tell you by looking at the makeup. You can't tell that, except for some suntan lotion and some other things. But generally speaking, you can't tell how old the product is. Are consultants allowed to sell product that's more than 3 years old?
I have no idea.
Rita, do you happen to know that?
When I started first, I didn't know even what codes meant because they didn't have dates on the products, just as you said, and they had a bunch of codes. I had no idea what these meant. Later on, I found out after lots of reading that actually codes refer to actually production date. Now, there is nothing there says like it is best buy or good buy even, except for, of course, the ones has like sunscreen. So there is no single indication that as for how long these are good for. Read online says Mary Kay products are most of them good for many, many years. And now selling lots of Mary Kay and dealing with Mary Kay, I fell in love with the product, and I used some of their discontinued products that it's been discontinued for years, and I love them and they work like a charm. And I've seen newer products that they are bad. Apparently they were not properly stored or left in sun or heat. So I guess these things is really person's better judgment when looking at the product and inspecting it. That's why I inspect every single item, and if I have doubt with any item that it could have been in bad shape, I either return it to the seller that I bought it from, or I discard it depending on the condition. But I inspect every single item. So what I do not understand is why, if the consultant has the items, they know for sure that they are good. Now they do not perform, as far as I know, visits or blind visits to check about the status. They do not buy the product back when the shelf life passes. So I'm trying to think of what the consultants would do with a product that passed the date. Now, I've read lots of stories. I just read today a story about a lady in a facial party won a basket, Mary Kay basket, and then later she was using one of the lotion and was rancid. And then she got worried and started looking up and called Mary Kay, and they told her that there is a 4-digit codes on the boxes. And when she checked them and gave them the codes, they were all way past the shelf life recommended by Mary Kay. And a director who gave her that basket, and she provided the name of the director to Mary Kay. But Mary Kay did nothing about it. They said they cannot control the consultant.
Oh, so they can't control the consultant, but they can try to control you, can't they? Well, let's. I find that fascinating that they say that no, we have a quality control system that is so high and tight that if it gets beyond our system, that then it is so not us that it's inauthentic. It's not even genuine product. It goes suddenly, when it's 2 months or 2 years and 11 months old, it is authentic, genuine product. But when it is 3 years and 1 month old, it is not genuine. It's inauthentic. And it's going to damage our reputation if you sell it. irrespective of how it's been treated. Of course, I guess we all know that the makeup lasts a long time if it's kept well, and it doesn't last a day if it's kept in the back of a hot dash. Let's talk about the Weber case a little bit. As I've seen a number of these petitions, Weber was a case that Mary Kay won not too long ago. I guess it was last year, or when was it? 2015, I think it was, where they argued that the first sale doctrine doesn't protect folks like you because it's dangerous or something. And it goes back to a cough drop case where the cough drops are beyond statute, beyond shelf life, right? And so they used that to argue that they don't have to pay attention to the first sale doctrine. But Weber was very different from you guys, was it not? I mean, do you all use Mary Kay packaging when you send out product?
No, I don't.
I mean, like, do you make it look like it's from Mary Kay? So that somebody orders from you, does it look like, yes, I'm getting a package from Mary Kay, or does it look like I'm getting a package of Mary Kay product from Jack?
They get it from me, not from Mary Kay.
Well, that was really the point, right? In the Weber case, the person was an ex-consultant, so it actually had been a consultant, and that person was using the pink and all of the Mary Kay packaging and everything else. So, if you really were not very bright, you might think that you were actually dealing with Mary Kay, but that's not what you all do, right? Do you have a disclaimer on your eBay and sites that say anything about that?
I have in every part of my Mary Kay in the very bottom where it says I'm not affiliated with Mary Kay.
Right. I mean, does anybody ever say, oh no, I thought I was ordering from Mary Kay. I didn't realize I was ordering from Jack or Rita.
Never had that come back to me. Never questioned it.
Rita, how about you? Do you have a disclaimer? Do you use pink, and does your site look like it's Mary Kay site?
No, at all. I have a store name on eBay. Has nothing to do with Mary Kay or even cosmetics and beauty products. I take my own pictures. I put the store name on every picture, big kinda in the middle, which shows that it's my store name. And also I have a very detailed disclaimer that I'm not affiliated and never been, and these are not under Mary Kay quality when they leave a consultant place, and I basically own the product and love the product and sell them.
Okay, so we've talked about the trademark infringement. Trademark infringement usually involves a likelihood of confusion. Does a person think that they're buying from somebody that they're not, or is it sponsored or affiliated with somebody it's not? And I've used the example of a pickup. If I see a for sale sign of an F-150 on the side of the road, I don't think that Ford is selling me that pickup, right? I know that there are a series of dealers. I know that there are people who are affiliated with Ford. I know that there are used car dealers who are not affiliated with Ford and still selling those products. And it's usually pretty obvious. In this situation, what is amazing to me is you've got tens of thousands of products being sold on eBay and Amazon that are clearly not being sold by Mary Kay. But Mary Kay is slowly trying to clamp down on you guys. They pick a few at a time, and then they sue you. And of course, it's very difficult because you've got this large, huge organization with well-practiced attorneys who have filed exactly the same lawsuit many times. They're picking on somebody who's making a $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month on selling used product or selling product that's been bought by another seller. And it doesn't have to be by a consultant, right? I mean, you could buy somebody from an estate sale because a consultant has died, and the person who's in charge of who's executive handling the probate sells all the product, and one of you all might buy it. So what is our plan of action? I think that we've talked about a class action. Jack? Tell me what is your goal in a potential class action?
Well, my goal is to basically, in a sense, have the bully stop harassing people like us. That's doing nothing wrong.
Right. And Rita, how about you? What do you hope to gain?
I really hope that other sellers are hearing us right now, and who also got threatened by Mary Kay, that they will come and join us to have a class action and stop this big bully. It's hard to do it as individuals and fight a big giant bully, but if will be several of us will stick together and want to reveal the truth, I would really wish for that to happen, because apparently, and what I've heard and people contacted me, that this has been going for years, and I know several good, with very good reputations, they used to sell on eBay, that they closed their businesses. And I've seen an older lady, and I've seen a younger people who've been sick or stuck at home or for many reasons. Selling online is their best things, and that's all what they know. And they had to close their stores because they were threatened that they will be sued. And what it bothers me more is that all what is being sold is actually Mary Kay was paid for. So when the consultants got the product and sold it, they have paid Mary Kay for this product. So, but Mary Kay doesn't want people to sell it online. What ends up that those consultants are trashing their product so it won't get sold again, and people go purchase again from Mary Kay. Again, as I said in the beginning, I love Mary Kay products, and I love when I read about Mary Kay Ash herself. But after she passed away, looks like their policies got really changed, and their theme about God first and family second and then career, it doesn't seem to be the case, because I read about lots of consultants who got deep in debt because they had to keep purchasing minimum of a product or they lose their contract, and kept having product, and they are stuck, and now they cannot sell it online, they cannot liquidate it, they cannot even sell it to other consultants in their team, and stuck with this product and supposed to go to trash. And I've heard that they say what they need to do is just to give them as gifts. And again, if they were past shelf life, how you're supposed to give this as gifts?
Right. You wind up one of the interesting things to me is that if Mary Kay is able to do this and be successful, then what's next, right? Avon has a similar setup. Arbonne has a similar setup. There are many consultant-based distributor networks that could wind up doing this, and so what it winds up is called economic waste. I'm sorry, the product is 3 years and 1 day old, therefore you've got to destroy it. It is good for nothing more than appearing in a Mary Kay museum somewhere. That's about all you can do with it. Of course, that's absurd. We all know that makeup properly cared for can last for many years beyond 3. So, the moral of the story is A, don't ignore letters you get from that are however poorly written that you get from an attorney on a demand letter. Contact somebody. And if you're interested in being involved in a class action against Mary Kay for their, what I would call overreaching. It's a good company. We're good to have them right here in the Dallas area. But they need to recognize that nobody's trying to fool anybody. I think I read one of these potential petitions that said the acts were malicious, as though you are deliberately trying to harm Mary Kay by selling product by purchasing product from somebody who wants to sell it and has already determined they're going to sell it to somebody else who wants to buy it. And I think both of you give money back guarantees all the time, right? So that's not an issue. So any last words before we go?
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll say one more thing too. If anyone's on the fence about maybe contacting somebody, you or whoever may be,
Yeah, I
Either
would.
way.
We're looking for allies. The reality is, what I've learned is that we can do at NORAD Law. That's our law firm, and we designate cases as kind of white hat law cases. And these are cases that we just really believe need to be filed, because you have a large institutional-sized organization that's using it's highly resourced, it has plenty of money, and it can just sue people, a few people at a time, so they never really get organized. They develop a finely tuned set of pleadings so that they can just file the next one off and it doesn't take any time. And by doing it one at a time, over time, which makes perfect sense, people in Jack and Rita's position really don't have any effective way of fighting back. It costs a lot of money to do this. And sometimes we try to do things and we do it for very little money. But when you take on Mary Kay, we're going to have to spend real time doing this, and so it's substantial. We do need partners in this that would make it worthwhile. So if you are interested in supporting freedom and commerce between peaceful people in a situation where nobody's trying to fool anybody, nobody's saying that you're a consultant by Mary Kay, and we could talk about consultants from Mary Kay. If you're a consultant for Mary Kay and you sign this document, does this mean for the rest of your life you have to not compete with them by selling Mary Kay product? Certainly, people that we've talked to, both Jack and Rita, neither one of them are consultants. But even the consultants seem to be overly hammered by their agreement. I think it seems like if we looked at one, we haven't seen one yet, it may actually be unconscionable. So I would, if you're a consultant or not a consultant and you're in a situation where you've gotten a demand letter, or you want to be a partner with NORAD Law toward this case, then make sure to holler at us. We're easy to find, noradlaw.com. Well, that's it from us for today from White Hat Law. I want to say thanks to Jack and Rita for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Well, that's a wrap, folks, and we want to thank you for listening to the White Hat Law Show here with Warren Norrid. To find out more about Warren, check him out at noradlaw.com.